In a world full of bad news, this podcast is a source of good news, real talk, and real inspiration. On this show, you'll hear stories of growth, legacy, and entrepreneurship. Everyday people who overcome real challenges to build something meaningful. My name is Stephen Padernacht, third generation Bronx born and raised in the real estate game. This is the Padernacht Podcast, brick by brick. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Brick by Brick. Today's guest is someone I'm genuinely grateful to have in my corner. I met Mike about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago, and he's been instrumental in helping me take ideas out of my head and turn them into something real that you could see and feel. And I'm going to say it straight. Mike is one of the hardest working people I know. I've seen him up at 5 a.m., moving with purpose, bouncing between gigs, shoots, studios, clients all day, edits all night. Still showing up as a father, still showing up with intention. So today we're going to get into the real story behind the camera, how he built his creative path, what it takes to stay consistent, the mindset behind the work. And we're also going to talk a little bit about his soul cycle journey, because discipline doesn't just show up in your business, it shows up in your body. Let's get into it. Mr. Press?
Hey! Hey!
How we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing
Yeah?
good. Super excited to be here today. And from the many times that I've been here, like, helping other people, you know, I'll be sitting there like, so when he going to ask me to be on the show? So I'm glad to be here.
Good. Well, I'm glad to have you, dude. It was only natural. I was actually just waiting for the right moment. You know, I wanted to just wait for the pristine, opportune time to ask you to be a guest.
We're not going to talk about how you canceled on me first time. We're not going to talk about that.
Well, that was a family thing. And I'm sure you understand that, being a father and all.
Of course.
I would like to start with you and your insane work ethic. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just you with the highlight reels on IG or whatever it is, but dude, like, it seems like every time I turn around, you're somewhere in Westchester or New York or Manhattan and you're doing something. Mm-hmm. How the fuck you keep that? Where you get that energy from?
I think it all really started from, as a kid, my dad, he was always up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And that has just always been instilled in me since I was a kid, just being up that early. So I used to get up no matter what, 6 o'clock in the morning. Christmas Day, I'm up 5 o'clock in the morning, opening stuff by myself. And it just kind of really just carried on all the way throughout. So once, you know, I started getting into late 20s, I realized that if I'm up earlier, it gives me more time to do the things that I need to do. Because once you really hit like 8, 9 o'clock, for me at least, that's like 12 o'clock to me. Your day is really starting at that point, and then you're in like a process of things. So I just know that my real work hours are 4 a.m. to about 7 a.m., where I can get basically most of my stuff done, and then I get into my day.
Interesting. For people who don't know you, like, how do you, and for anybody who's watching this and doesn't know who Mike Press is, how do you describe what you actually do?
So the way I describe it is that I'm a creative director. What I do is come into, I don't want to say your life, but I come into the thing that you're trying to create. And I pull out your idea and I put it in a video concept. Yes, it sounds pretty basic, but people don't realize how difficult it is to actually take the idea out of your head and then put it into a conceptual thing. So yes, I can show up and just video you, but it's more beneficial to when I start pulling things out of your head, asking you questions in real time, getting you to actually think, and then when you see the final product, you're like, yo, I didn't even think you did that. Exactly.
One of the most difficult things for me is explaining to you what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm like, yo, Mike, I got this idea, and this is what I'm thinking, but I don't know how to explain it. Uh-huh. So, like, I'm sure you encounter that with other creators.
All the time. And a lot of times let's just say the client or the person that I'm trying to help, I just really say, just say it. Like, stop trying to formulate it in this very precise and crisp way so it can sound a certain way. Just say it. Because my job is to take all your words and then relay it back to you and be like, oh, so you want to make a video about your life?
Kind of like ChatGPT.
Kind of like that. But we, as people, nowadays, we just try to make things so overcomplicated. when it can be just say it. It's up to the person that you're saying it to understand it. And if they don't understand it, what do they say? I don't really understand what you're saying.
I think that it helps that it's always like that first 1 or 2 videos where it's like, yo, Mike, this is what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. I explain it as best I can. And then you send back what you send back, and you're like, damn, that was exactly what I was thinking. And then you build that trust factor.
Yeah.
And then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think, like, the first time that you and I worked together, and for most people right now, they're seeing my work in other people. And then when you start seeing the work in other people, then that also gives you trust and confidence because you're seeing so many other people utilize it. So I remember the first time that we worked together when we went to the Easter egg hunt.
Yep.
I was just like, all right, I'll just show up and shoot. Because it really wasn't much to talk about at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then little by little, I'll just ask you a question here and there, warm you up, ask you a question. And then before you know it, we running around Van Cortlandt Park and all these other places
Yankee
doing
Stadium
stuff. Yankee
and-
Stadium. Yo, to this day, that is one of my favorite videos. The Yankee Stadium video.
Yeah, that was a good time. I just trusting you with that really, like, and then seeing what you came up with, like, it was super helpful to me. How do you identify, or how do you tell people that, like, it's not necessarily about pressing record, but it's really just about pulling those threads? Like, do you get a lot of people that are very hesitant to share? And
I don't get people that are hesitant to share. What I get is people trying to perfect what they're trying to say. And what happens is when you try to perfect what you're trying to say, you're trying to remember, and this is just straight up, everybody's trying to remember the script that they wrote, downloaded, or got from ChatGPT. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, no, because it sounds a certain way. And by you trying to constantly remember and memorize, you're just limiting yourself. You know the story. When I used to act and I was in acting class, the first thing that they always said was, know your first line, know your last line, and watch how everything else in the middle starts to come about. So that's what I tell people is, what's your name, what do you do, and what's the goal of what you're trying to say? Because that's basically the beginning and the end. And everything else that you say in the middle, I can pull out of you.
And how long have you been doing helping brands build their content?
I would say for 2 years now.
So the reason why I asked that question is because it seems like you're helping so many people these days.
Yeah.
Like, how did the business grow?
I think that the way it grew was people kept seeing my name and people kept seeing me in places shoot. So I always give it up to Dave Regina because that's where most people saw me. And then they started seeing me at Ace workouts. And then they started seeing me over here at this workout. And then they see me here and there. And then they see all different types of stuff. It's not just one lane. So you could see me at, like earlier today, I was at Byram Hills shooting basketball. Then I can be somewhere shooting a baby shower. Then I can be somewhere shooting a networking event. So you're going to see me at different places. And then every time that you see me, it's always a different thing that's attached to it. So it's not like one-dimensional.
Yep. I mean, I think that's super helpful because a lot of people get known for being one sort of niche.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can kind of blend, like when I saw you at the soccer game,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, yo, what are you doing here, bro? I was super surprised. I go, why am I seeing you at a soccer game right now?
And the crazy thing about that day was I had shot one of their players like 4 hours earlier than that at the barbershop. So I created this whole plan with Hugo and Westchester FC that we just give me a player and I'm gonna follow them from the barbershop all the way to the game. And so that's when you saw me there. That was like the second half of it.
Yeah, I was like, why is this guy at the soccer game?
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I was there because I think it was Hugo. No, it was Eddie who connected me with the gentleman from Westchester
Ari.
FC.
That's
Yeah,
his name.
Ari. Yeah. And he had invited us to a networking event. So I was there with John. And then I was just like, yo, this guy Mike Press is everywhere, dude. Like, not only do I see you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like usually when I open up IG in the morning, like it's usually like your story is like one of the first ones that's there. Talk to me about acting, because like I don't think you and I have ever really spoken about that. How long did you act for? What did you do? Give me your what is it, IMBD?
Yeah. a lot of people don't know it. So I started acting in 2016. I did acting school for about 3 years before I even took my first audition. I studied a technique called the Meisner technique, which allows when I act, or if I ever had to act, that I'm not coming off as what they say, what's the one, where you like overdo everything.
Oh, okay.
It just seems like more natural.
Yeah.
So most notably, I would always do Law and Order. I was on a sitcom called God Friended Me. I've done FBI, a lot of short films, and then a lot of theater. A lot of people didn't know I did theater.
Live theater?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then even musicals.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
You
The musical,
singing and dancing?
Yo, the kickball change was solid, son.
Why'd you leave?
So when COVID hit, I had booked probably like the thing that I thought was gonna push me, right? It was a full-blown production, full-blown like Broadway type thing, and COVID hit and it was over. So then,
Because it was live.
yeah,
Right.
COVID shut it down.
Yeah.
COVID shut everything down because it was going to be like in a live theater. And once COVID kind of came, once, things got released and, they were starting things again, it wasn't the same. Everything was an online audition. Everything was submissions. And so instead of, from the time, what I know is you go in and you show your personality, you create the conversation, you create the actual connection. Now you got to give everything through a screen. And a lot of times you don't even get seen.
Yeah.
You getting 1,500 submissions for one role. You might get through the first 100 and just be like, yo, I got 1,400 more to get through. Yeah. Let's find we got 100. Let's go. Pick somebody. So after that, I was just like, I think I'm good here.
All right. I mean, you did your thing, right? You experienced it. Was acting something that you wanted to do when you were younger?
No. So before I was acting, obviously I was like modeling in the city. And at the time...
Well, not so obvious. We'll get back to that.
You ain't look at me, son? One of my agents was like, Mike, I think you should try acting just because your personality, you're outspoken. You literally just go anywhere and just start talking to people. And I think it was the best thing that allowed me to break through with vulnerability and to understand how to use emotion and how to actually control feelings and actually read people at the same time. And also the biggest thing that I learned from it was how to have a conversation and knowing when to maybe suppress the thing that you have to say because the other person's feeling is a little bit stronger than yours.
Walk me through that. Help me understand that a little more, because that sounded really interesting.
So let's say I came here today, right? And I came in rushing in like, yo, Steve, check it out, man. Like I got an hour. Like I really can't do a lot. And I came in with that energy. But then I saw you, and I saw for whatever reason you were like very somber and down. Maybe because you just got like a text or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Me coming in with that energy to you doesn't now help you.
No.
Right. Doesn't help you do what we're doing now. Because now in the back of your head, you're like, all right, I gotta figure out what I gotta say because he's got to get out of here.
Yep.
I have to now recognize that feeling that you have is a lot more important, and maybe I should lean into what that feeling is.
And you learned this through acting?
That's part of the Meisner technique.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who, the Meisner? Who?
Yeah, his name is Sanford Meisner.
Sanford. Shout out to Sanford Meisner.
Sanny.
All right, so now we're going to go back to your tidbit. What do you mean you were modeling? I didn't know you was a model. I mean, ChatGPT told me you were a model, but I thought it was just mistake.
CV, pull up the Google, man. Pull up Google Images, man. Stop playing with me, yo.
I thought it was a mistake, to be honest.
I ain't playing. Pull up Google Images, yo.
Oh, you a hand model?
That's crazy. Nah, yo, I legit did it. Watch him see if you pull his joint up. You gonna be that serious. I did it it's crazy because I started in college when I was in North Carolina. It was funny. Yo, I used to do like club fashion shows. I was 135 pounds, skinny, thought I had abs. It was really ribs. It was wild. But then I moved back to New York after I graduated and was like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. And it was rough. So from 2011 to 2016 was a rough, like 4.5, 5 years of me modeling. And my big break was when I moved to South Africa to model.
Really?
That was the big break.
Nah.
Pull it up, son.
Who is that?
That's 135, B.
Yo, do me a favor. And CV, when you're editing this, can
Throw 'em in.
Can you throw that in like the bottom left corner of the
I'm trying
joint?
to tell you,
Like,
there's a bunch of them, yo. Throw them in there.
Nah, just that one, please. Was that in South Africa?
No, that was actually in upstate New York. These photographers from Miami came, and they were just like, they wanted to shoot this swimsuit collection, and that's what they did. Come on, B.
Yo, my man. Yo, my man.
Pull up these draws pictures.
Yo,
But when I went to South Africa, and then when I came back from South Africa and I moved back to New York, that's when everything started changing. So it was a cool experience, and one of the first jobs that I got back was I was a boyfriend in Beyonce's video.
Really?
Yeah, the video best thing I never had. So that was like the thing that like broke me.
I know that video.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what's his face in that video? What the hell is the guy's name? The
You
dude.
don't know.
No,
You don't know.
no, I don't know the dude's
There
name.
was nobody famous in that one.
Really?
It was just me.
So I'm thinking of maybe I'm thinking of a different Beyonce video. She's had so many.
Yeah. Pretty famous when you think about it. Pretty famous.
So all right, so modeling and then you transitioned into acting. Go back a little bit further. So wait, you're from Mount Vernon?
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you go to school?
So went to Longfellow Elementary, and then around this time,
Yo.
not playing.
Yo.
I went to Longfellow Elementary, and
That's
then,
the one that I want in the bottom of the screen.
And then my parents transferred me to Blessed Sacrament St. Gabriel High School and their middle school because they were like, you're not going to Mount Vernon Public Schools for middle and high school. And I was like, why? All my friends is going. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I think it was the better thing for me because I was able to stand out in a lot of different ways. And one of my mentors, Matthew Smith, who I still talk to this day, he was very instrumental in even getting me into college when I failed out of a college.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So where'd you go to college?
So first college that I went to was Johnson & Wales University in Charlotte. Failed out after 1 year. Sat out a year.
Failed out.
Failed out.
Is that because you didn't go to classes? Because you're not a dummy.
No, I went to classes. What it was my second year in there, I couldn't pass accounting.
Oh.
Like I just couldn't do it.
But wait, that's one class.
Right. But then all my other classes were suffering because I was spending so much time trying to focus on this accounting class.
Damn.
And it just...
What kind of major were you?
So I was a sports administration major.
What the hell you need accounting for?
My point.
Yeah. What the fuck you need
My
accounting
point. But that second year, it was just like I ended up doing too much following of other people. And then things just started suffering, and then they kicked me out. So I stayed out of school for a year. And I hit up Mr. Smith, and he had a connection at Johnson C. Smith University, which is HBCU in Charlotte. He got me in there, and then once I got in there, it was like,
Nice.
take off.
Nice. And when you got out of college, is that when you started modeling?
Yeah. So I had a plan. While I was in school, I worked for the NFL, for the Panthers at the time. I did a whole bunch of sports stuff when I was in Charlotte because that's what I wanted to do. And that's what really kind of started me understanding TV and media because I worked for the Panthers in their media relations department. So that's where everything kind of like started. And then I was like, look, I'm about to graduate. Are there any positions? And they said, no, there's not. But, we have sales. I'm like, I don't want to do sales because y'all trash right now. I was like, no.
The Panthers?
Yeah, this is when they had like Jake Delhomme. Like it was they were like 2-95. Like it was bad.
It seems that at least you were headstrong and you knew what you didn't want.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I had, mind you, I graduated high school in 2004. I didn't move back to New York until 2011.
Okay, so you were down there for a while.
I was down there for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I moved back and I was like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. And it was like that was the decision. Like that was it. And my parents couldn't really understand it at the time. Nobody could. But as soon as a brother get on a Beyonce video, everybody like, oh, that's my son, that's my like, y'all fake.
It's kind of all making sense now, right? Like we've had countless conversations, you and I, but like this is all stuff that I never knew.
Yeah.
Right? Like ChatGPT told me about this.
And you ain't believe it.
I honestly did not believe it. I did not.
Yo, they lying. He set this up already.
I was like, let me see what the links are. Where's the query coming from here? Oh, it's coming from I'mMikePress.com. That's the sources. But it kind of makes sense, right? Like why you're able to work with somebody that is trying to express because you have a natural, I guess, gift to be able, because you've had all these experiences, and I guess there's something, you have the ability to tell these stories because you've also been through so many things and you've been in so many different situations.
Right.
Do you find that when dealing with content creators, like what's the most difficult content creator, don't give me their name, but like a situation that you have with them?
The most difficult thing, and it's not one specific person, but it's a general idea, is that they expect you to make them go viral.
Oh yeah. I was pretty pissed that you didn't.
You be all right. And that's the first thing that I ask people. I'm like, so why do you want to do content? A lot of people have a very general base level idea of what they want to do with content. And I say, first thing I ask them, I said, are you looking for consistent content or are you looking for viral content? Everybody says viral content. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because the consistent content is what gets you to the viral content.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Do you put into an emphasis on like hooks, bodies, calls to action? Do you put an emphasis on that when you're working with people?
No, because it's been so overdone over the last 2.5 years that now when you see people do call actions, they don't always work. If a call to action is only going to work if you have people that are following you for a reason.
Makes sense.
So most people try to do call to actions when they have no following or their following is very small. Nothing wrong with a small following. But if you're not offering a service that people need, what are they calling to action about? If your majority of your following is your friends and family, they don't look at you the same, right?
Yeah,
everything can't be a call to action. Send me this, DM me this. They're not gonna. Because call to actions only work for people that don't know you.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense, right? Like you have a guy who has 200 followers and he's like,
Yeah, and it could even be 10,000 followers. Like even the following count doesn't matter. But if you don't have a history of selling, if you don't have a history, not in the sense of like I've been a salesperson, but in your social media journey, if you don't have a history of selling, offering information, offering tools, why would somebody randomly just be like, yeah, I'm a download that from you?
So that kind of leads into my next question, right? Like the storytelling aspect. I personally think that's important to have that origin story in your content before you start asking people to do certain things.
Yeah.
Is that advice that you give to other content creators?
All the time. The first thing I'll ask somebody is, have you ever told your story before? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll go watch the video. I'm like, you didn't tell a story. You told people what you do. There's a difference.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, you know what? What's up, guys? My name is Mike Press, and I shoot videos. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Press. For the past 10 years, I've worked within media and entertainment from a young kid when I was in college, where I worked through this. That's now telling a story.
Yeah.
So now you have that video.
Yeah.
Now where do you go next? And then where you go next? And next, and next, and next, which brings me back to consistent content, which leads you to the viral content.
It's interesting because the workflow also kind of keeps a built-in sort of like working with Mike Press is not just working with Mike Press for a one-off. It's like the best way to do it, and I've seen this firsthand, is to just have that consistency, whatever it may be. Like, all right, let's work out a number that makes sense monthly or quarterly or whatever it is, and let's just lock in 10 videos and, take it from there, which, for me makes perfect sense. But for a lot of other people, I think the most important thing that people have to remember is like you're making an investment in your brand. And if you don't do that, like you chose as content creation to be your lead generation lever, right? Like you can go just make outbound phone calls if you want, or text people. You could text 10,000 people if you want, or you could just work on content and try to get yourself better to get that same messaging out.
Yeah. I had a conversation not too long ago about personal brand with different people. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, y'all don't get it, man. Content is a stamina game.
Accurate.
I'm going to say it again. Content is a stamina game. It's not one video. It's not two videos. Can you bump out 50 videos? You know what I'm saying? Can you do it for 6 months and get no traction and still come back and do it? your traction is 500 people, 400 people. You can't look at me at my stuff and then see 20 comments, 30 shares, 8,000 views. I've been doing this for a very long time in different aspects, which allows me to have the following. But if you just come in and you're like, yo, only like 500 people saw it. I'm like, listen to what you just said. 500 people saw it. You can't match up to what I do and what you do. 500 people still saw it.
Yep.
And if your following is 1,200, that's a little bit less than half.
Yep.
Now, add each of those views up over those past 5 videos, and you got 500 at each time. That means what? Do the math. That's way more than your follower count.
Yeah.
And people don't look at it like that.
No, because they want the viral moment.
And a viral moment doesn't, and I've done videos about this, a viral moment doesn't mean you're going to be successful. A viral moment can actually be the downfall to your success. Because if you do a video that requires a service or you're selling something, do you have the infrastructure to handle a viral moment? 90% don't.
Nope.
Now, you can have a funny video that goes viral. Cool, great, dope.
Yeah.
But what else? That doesn't mean it's going to happen again.
As a brand, if you had a video, then if your average count is whatever, 400 or 500 views, and then all of a sudden you got one that does whatever, 500,000 views or 1 million views, whatever it is, the amount of DMs, the amount of comments, the amount of everything, you're not going to be able to handle even getting back to people and figuring out how to monetize it.
Right. And sometimes you don't even get that. You just get the views and the funny comments. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people are like, so what do I do now? Do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you do that worked? Do it again.
Dissect your post.
Right.
Are bots for real?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Hell
Who's
yeah.
using bots?
Everybody.
How do I tell if an account is using bots?
Go to followers and go like this.
Yeah.
Pick an account.
Okay.
0 followers, 10,000 friends, following 7,000 people, named Punjab Shira.
I know Punjab.
Me too. every bots are real, right? You got bots in your stuff too. I got bots in mine. It's just part of the game. But I always say this. If you have, and I've seen this, it's crazy. If you have an account that has 250,000 followers and you're posting, and you're getting 1,500 views, come on, man. No comments, no likes, no shares, but you got 250,000 followers?
Yeah.
Because here's what sucks. You bought 150, 200,000 followers, 249,000 followers, and now you can't get them off.
Yeah.
Now you stuck.
How do you get them off? You have to literally go and have them let them unfollow you, no?
No, they're not real.
Remove them as a follower.
You got to remove 250,000 accounts.
Yeah, you got to dead your account.
Now that's why most people dead accounts and start over because they realize it's hurting them.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I was listening to somebody the other day. I forgot who it was, but they were saying that it's not social media no more. It's interest media. And I found it very interesting because
Sound like a Gary Vee convo.
it's something like that. It was either Gary Vee or it was this other guy, Sharon. I forgot his last name that I'm listening to a lot now, and Alex Hormozy. But it made perfect sense to me because it's like you don't see. I used to go on when social media first came out, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go on and see my cousins or my friends or this, and I'd see all their stuff.
Yeah.
Now I barely see anything from like my friends and family, and it's ad after ad after ad, and it's like what the algorithm thinks you want to see. And if you click on one thing, like if I click on something about
pushes
NBA basketball,
NBA basketball coming
that's
up.
it. And then you go to your discovery page and it's the same thing. It's all just NBA basketball. Then you got to go click not interested and then start over from scratch.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you stand out in a world on social media that is literally just interest based? And how do you advise the content creators to do that?
The way I personally stand out is by pumping out massive amounts of content for other people.
Okay.
So the way I stay relevant is, let's say you know, like you said, you wake up and I'm one of the first things that you see, right? But in reality, you will probably see 5 other posts from me, but it's not me personally. It's work that I've already done. So when you see like Andrew Gill, you see Dave, you see Sean, you see anybody that I work with, you'll see the tag mic press, mic press, mic press, mic press. So you'll probably see seven different videos. That's already me. And subconsciously, you're looking at it and you're scrolling. You're like, damn, Mike did that one. Oh, shit, Mike did that one. Damn, Mike did that one.
At this point, I can pretty much know your style. So I could just tell by the video. But
Right.
I don't even have to go and look.
Right. Now, the other way that I stand out just for me when I do stuff is just finding a way for it to be interesting to me. So like over the summertime, I did a lot of like videos with me and my Jeep driving around, showing people how to use car mounts and things like that. Now I'm all about like the self-following drones. It's just stuff that makes it interesting for me because it's hard for me to do content for myself. It's very hard.
Really?
It's super hard because I'm so creative for other people. Now, how do I become creative for myself?
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you actually sit down and think about a strategy for yourself?
Nope.
Or is it just kind of like, I'm going to focus for the next month or so and just do like these Jeep videos? I'm going to focus on
Dude, it's not
drones.
even that. It's like I'll have an idea, and it's for me to try it out for other people. So I have an idea. Like I did a video about multiple personalities, and I'll stand in my kitchen, and different versions of me walk through the kitchen. So now I know how to do it in case if I have a client or any friend that wants to do something, I've already done it, so I know how to do it.
I want to do that.
It's funny, yo.
I want to do that.
It's funny, yo.
So wait, so what is it like? Serious Steve, workout Steve, like.
And you all intertwine in one space.
I think that the kitchen's a good place for it because it's like you open up the fridge and you're like, all right, do I eat the salad or do I eat this? And then you know what I mean?
And that's what I did. I stood right in the middle, and then in the background there was different versions of me. I called him I was like, this is my cousin Jimmy. He was walking through the house in underwear and like Timberlands or some shit. And then it was like my uncle. He had like a shower cap on. Like it was just like different funny versions. And the timing of how they came in just seemed very seamless.
Yeah.
So it's like I try stuff like that for other people.
That's interesting. That's funny as hell too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't see that video, but that's funny as hell. Walk me through your workflow, right? So from like somebody calls you up and it's like, hey, I got your number from whatever, from Steve. From workflow, from first call to final deliverables.
Well, the first thing I do is download granola.ai. Yo, game changer, my man. Game changer. Steve put me onto this AI app called Granola. This is not an ad. This is me being dead serious.
Yeah.
Where it records the whole conversation for you, and it gives you an outline back within minutes. Game changer for me. Because now I don't have to remember what I said.
Yep.
And then they see it, and then now they're more confident that, whoa, this dude took notes?
Yeah.
Sure did. Sure did.
He sent me a little PC on that.
So that's the first thing I do.
Okay.
And then from there, I always ask the same questions. They tell me what it is that they want to do. I ask them the time frame of when this needs to be done, who's involved, I guess the style that you want to do it in. Have you seen anything that I've done before? And then I go shoot. And once they tell me their idea, I tell them how I can make it come true.
Yep.
However that may look. Now, some people get back to me. Some people leave it on red. It's the nature of it. But once I get there, I want everything to be seamless to the point where you don't have to think. That's my main thing. You don't want to have to think about stuff the whole time. Like, well, can we shoot it there and can we do this? No. Let me do that. Be the talent. That is the one thing people forget. You're no longer the creative person.
Yeah.
You're now the talent.
Yep.
You told me what you need. Now it's up to me to make it come true. So a lot of people need to let go of that control and let the person that comes in do it. Now, if you feel that that's not coming across, cool, then that's a great time to say something. But if everything seems pretty even flow, ebbs and flows, let it be that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's the editing process like?
So editing process.
Because now you've shot, you've taken over the creative role with that person. And now you go home and you edit. And first of all, let me just throw a little shout out your way because, dude, you turn around fucking projects like it's nobody's business. Like you have like an editor in your car, like you're doing it on your phone or whatever you're doing, my man. Whatever your secret is, like.
Yeah.
Like anyway, so shout out to that. But so what's your editing process like? Like now you already know. So like by zooming in here, what kind of music am I using? What kind of cover am I going to use?
So the one thing that I do is I shoot the way that I see it being edited. So that allows me to go through the file and be like, that's shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, once I pull all the videos out, now I just put it together. So that's why you get stuff back so fast. And that's why whenever we've shot, you don't feel like I'm overshooting stuff. It seems pretty fast when we do stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's pretty quick and simple. And
I thought it was just because I was so talented and I'm just.
That's about 7% of it. That's about 7% of it. About 7%. Of it, you know what I'm saying? But the main thing is like once I figured out that formula, now everything else just bells and whistles.
What do you need from a client to make magic happen?
I need in one video or just overall?
In general. Like what are some characteristics of a client that you feel like you could really work magic for?
A person that can talk on camera, a person that can answer questions, a person that is very self-conscious of how they present themselves on camera. Because you're always going to have a person that may not be very comfortable. And you might have a person that does this a lot when they talk.
Overthinking.
Yeah. Your eyes will tell you if you're overthinking. So if, like I said, it goes back to the memorization thing. If you can just stand in front of a camera and just deliver, that's the main thing for me. That's number one. 2, do you have enough to talk about? Most people don't.
Most people don't want to talk about everything that they can. I feel like everybody has enough to talk about if you were talking about the right thing. Like somebody who sits home all day and watches whatever, soap operas, like they got a lot to talk about, but they just don't want to talk about soap operas.
I always need a person to have enough to talk about because if you don't have enough to talk about, our relationship is going to end pretty fast.
Yeah.
And then you're going to rely on me to make up an idea for you, which is fine. But if that's now my job, that's not my job. And the third thing is that you have the time. And can you be on schedule?
Yeah.
Like we have this schedule because one, I'm already working with a bunch of people, so I'm fitting you in where I have the time and I'm making sure that I'm available for you as well. So those are my 4 things.
How do you pull the story out of somebody who doesn't like being on camera, who does all that like nervousness? How do you pull the story out of them? Like genuinely somebody that like you really believe in, but they're just really bad on camera.
It's pretty easy. So if I find that that I have a person that I'm working with is like that, I'll record them without them knowing. So I'll just put my camera in a position. I'll put my camera in a position like on my thigh like this. And I won't look at them, but I know where the camera is. Or I might have like the screen on my phone where I can see it, so I'll just position it, and then I'll act like I'm texting, and I'll just start talking to him, hit record, and I'll just be like, so like when you was like 14 and you told me that you fell off your bike, like tell me like really what that meant. And then all of a sudden they're like, instead of it being, well, you know, at the age of 14 and then all of a sudden it turns into, dude, when I was 14 and I fell off that bike. And then I never tell him that I recorded it. I never tell him. And then I just ask him again. I'm like, all right, I'm recording now. And I don't record. Because the thing that they said, they're not going to remember the chill version. They're only remembering this version.
Yeah. That, for me, that style of shooting content and not thinking, right? Like just talking is always the most natural for me. And I find that it's the best for people because when I'm sitting there trying to read a script, as you could see when we first started today, like I'm not good really with scripts, but sometimes they're necessary just for quick sort of shots. But that natural sort of candid shot, also when you're taking photos, candid shots are always the best as well.
Always.
Because somebody's trying to force a smile, trying to force this and force that and suck your stomach in. Well, you probably don't have that problem, but you know. But those candid shots are like magic. And that makes perfect sense what you're saying. Like just pretty much like, all right, I'm just gonna record and
when you watch a person overthink, certain things happen with them. They talk very fast and they talk very high. Hey guys, my name is him, and you're trying to push out all these words.
yeah.
And I'm like, you tired? Like, yeah, man, I'm really out of breath. I'm like,
Because you didn't breathe.
You didn't breathe, and you're trying to like push all these words out. So then I'll say it to me, and I'll just put my camera down, and they'll be like, hey, I'm da 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 da. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like you're overthinking you. which is crazy.
Did you know that when you started filming content for people that you were going to have to like coach them through, a lot of people through this stuff? Did you know that this was going to be the lane that you were in?
Yeah. I knew it was going to be the lane that I was going to be in, mainly for the reason that people just assume that as a videographer, that's all you're going to do is just shoot the video. Nobody doesn't expect anyone to coach you through it. They don't expect you to help them through it. And a year and a half ago, I started on my phone, and I really figured out how to shoot on a regular camera through my phone, through manual camera apps. And I always say, like one of my closest friends, Ariel Rosado, like I would shoot him. We would go down the city, just shoot stuff because he's a fashion like influencer. And now we shoot brand deals for him. Mm-hmm. And it's like when I look at that video all the time of when we did it on his phone, I was just like, yo, I can legit do this. Like I know I can. I just now got to get the camera.
And do you find great joy in this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's still, after everything that I've done, and obviously there's a bunch of other stuff that I haven't explained, but this is the one thing that has finally given me fulfillment to where when I do it, I'm excited about giving it to the person. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about them watching it and reviewing it and just being like, yo, how did you pull that together? And that's the fulfillment in it because it's of service.
Yep. And I want to just segue a little bit. Now, you are a father, right?
Yep.
You have a daughter?
Juju.
How old?
Juju is 17 months.
17 months. So what's it like balancing those 5 a.m. mornings, all of the hustle and bustle, and still being present as a father?
If I didn't know how to wake up early, it would be very tough. Very tough. But the good thing about Juju is that she's very schedule-based, which is great. And I know that when I'm up at I have to get up mainly like at 3:45 when she's around because she gets up at 6. So she's already, like me, up early. Totally fine by that. So I gotta jam-pack everything in about 2 hours. But the one thing that also Juju taught me was a lot of patience. Patience with dealing with people, patience dealing with editing, clients, all this kind of stuff, and then deal with her at the same time.
Yeah.
So I remember I was trying to film a voiceover, and she was sitting in the high chair right next to me. And I was like, what's going on, guys? And she would just be in the corner. And she would only do it when I would say something. And then I would do it again. And I'm like, but you got to laugh at it.
Yeah.
And realize that she understands that this is her time.
Yep.
So I try to do my best to always make sure that when I'm doing things, she is not around.
Interesting. And Soul Cycle.
Yeah.
Tell me, I always get a kick out of that, to be honest. And I always mention it to you just because I get a kick out of it. Because I just think of like these funny Soul Cycle character trainer people. And I'm like, yo, that's probably what Mike is doing.
I'm so opposite, yo. It's to the point that people like, and it's real. Like, I don't post Soul Cycle for nothing, and I've always been like that.
But you get tagged in it.
I get tagged in it all the time.
Yeah,
all
your
stories, you'll see it. And when I first started in 2016, like I was all about it. Like it was just new and it was different. But after a while, I started noticing like, nah, I don't want to be known for this. Like to me, and it's nothing against anybody, all my colleagues and nothing like that. I just didn't want to be known for that. That was just my thing. So you don't see me on my posts and reels ever talking about soul. It's not even in my stuff. Stories, yeah. Tags and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But Soul Cycle is really a big part to, how my name pushes around Westchester in the city and even throughout the United States, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Do you, so wait, you've been doing it for 9 years?
Crazy.
9 years.
Crazy, man. Crazy. My knees hurt.
It's funny when my, my niece texted me like, yo,
Yeah.
do you know this guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, he's my Soul Cycle teacher. I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Do you teach soul cycling in the same outfits that you were posing in the model?
This can go very left, very fast.
Are you wearing the whole headset
I wear the headset, but yo, to be totally honest, some days I go in there just like this.
Yeah.
They'll see me come from anywhere, and I'll be in literally like just like how I'm dressed right now, and I'm just like, yo, we here to do it. Because at the end of the day, the look, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you're doing in the room on the mic that matters.
Yo, but you got to bring some energy.
Oh, yeah, it's energy all the time. Even if I don't ride the bike, I'm full sweat because I
What
bring
you mean
energy.
don't ride the bike?
Yeah. Yo,
How
dude,
you training them and you don't ride the bike?
because they know I can ride.
Oh,
There's a difference.
man.
There's a difference between I don't got to prove myself to ride.
I'd ask for a refund for that class.
You ain't going to have to. You need to come first in order to get a refund, my brother. Let's start there. But it's really just all about how, if you know how to guide people. You know, it's like, if I need to show you every single step physically, yeah, it's cool, but it also breaks me down even more. Mm-hmm. But can I give you the same energy, give you the same direction without even touching the bike, and you still are able to follow along and get the same energy back? Now I've mastered this.
I like what you did there.
Work smarter, not
I
harder.
like what
baby.
you did there,
See
bro.
what I'm saying?
It's interesting because rocking and being like the Soul Cycle trainer,
Mm-hmm.
there's a correlation there between, I would imagine, between also being a DJ.
Is that being a DJ and just being center of attention and on 5 days a week for me?
Yeah.
I get 2 days off from that.
So how? How do you stay center of attention? How do you stay on 5 days a week? Like,
It's hard.
You got to roll up there and you do like early classes.
I do a 5:45 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I
Yeah.
do 8:30 on Mondays. I do 9:30 Tuesday, Thursday, Rybrook if you ain't got nothing to do.
So, like, just having to show up at 5:45 and you be the one with the energy, because I imagine that you have people that are rolling in there that don't have that energy.
People be rolling their morning breath. I'm like, yo, you got to drink some juice or something. Yo, chill. That's crazy. No, it's a lot. But in the beginning, you don't know how to harness your energy because you're giving and you think that your energy is going to get their energy up. It's not true. It's not true at all. You got to build them. I don't come out like, hey, guys, welcome to Soul Cyclist Mike Press. I've been saying the same intro for 9 years straight. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Press. We about to get things rolling in about a minute. Make sure you got everything you need. That's it. There's not much more that's coming out of me out of that because you're getting straight to the point. All right, y'all, give me 3 turns to the right. Let's get the body on up and let's bounce from right to left. Because if I start here, where else am I going to go?
Yeah.
I can't go higher than that. I start way down here,
And then,
little by little, and then by the 6th, 7th song, I got you. I got you like that.
are the playlists do you curate the playlist also?
Yeah, I do everything, dude. I do my own blends. I do my own mixes just from DJing for so long, so that when you come to a class, 90% of the time you're gonna hear stuff that's not on the radio. You're gonna hear stuff that you know, but I've remixed it a different way so that it's always fresh. Because remember, I'm teaching this stuff 2 to 3 times a day. I gotta be excited about what I'm hearing too. But if I'm playing Madonna Like a Prayer, the regular version the whole time, after a while, I'm like, all right, y'all, this is it. I ain't got much more out of me. You know?
I want to get a little tactical, and I want to talk to the entrepreneur or the future content creator who doesn't have a big budget, right? So let's just say you're sitting there, you've just got an iPhone. What's like the minimum viable setup, and or like how would you advise somebody who just wanted to get started but didn't have a budget and couldn't hire you?
Okay. First thing that you want to do is download an app called Moment. I think it's called $7.99, and that is going to teach you how to control the camera yourself. iPhone is great, but an iPhone, you can't control everything. On Moment, you can control your shutter speed, your ISO. You can control more than you can on an iPhone. Second thing that you want to get is mics. Yes, you can buy mics all day on Amazon, but you want to stay within 2 companies, Hollyland or DJI. And you can get mics for as low as $30. And they plug into your phone, and you just clip it to yourself, go. Don't fall for the TikTok like stuff and that little mic, that little, hi everybody. No, just clip it to you like an adult and talk. Standing there like this for 7 minutes talking is weird. Clip it to yourself. Get yourself a tripod that has 360 movement, meaning that it can go like this, it can go like this, it can go back, it can turn around. A lot of people just get the standard this, and then they get the big clip, and it's just that. You want something that can do everything.
Okay.
Those three things.
So microphone, tripod, Moments app.
And then the last thing is the editing app that you're going to use, whether it's Vids, whether it's VN, whether it's CapCut, whether it's Canva now.
Well, what do you recommend for this
I think
aspiring content creator?
I think that CapCut can be intimidating for a lot of people. What I would say is this. Get the most basic version and learn how to do these three things. Learn how to split, learn how to extract audio, and learn how to export at 4K. Do those three things. Because those three things are the first thing that everybody tries to figure out how to do. Splitting is when you go through the video and you cut at a very specific point, delete that, and then you bring the next section of whatever it is you're trying to do in where it makes sense. So if I was here talking and I was like, Mary had a little lamb, her fleece was white as, I would cut and then go to something else that I said so that the story makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we can talk for forever and I can make a whole story make sense from different parts within the clip.
Yep. All right. And all of that, I mean, look, there's decent tripods on Amazon for $35-$40. Like the Amazon version of the tripod though, is a pretty good version. I think it's $35.
Yep.
And it's got the level on it too. I think people get that wrong a lot. Like if their camera's not level.
Yeah. You want to be able to use your grid as well too. But yeah, the level, make sure that you always can see that the line in the middle is perfectly green, so that lets you know that you're level.
What are 3 easy wins to instantly upgrade your videos?
3 easy wins is shooting in 4K, 24, or 30. A lot of people shoot in, let me back up. 4K is the resolution that you're shooting in. You have 4K, 1080, 720, 480, 320. If you shoot 320, 480, or 720, everything you do is going to look like crap. 1080 is standard. 4K is going to give you the crispiness. Then you have frames per second, 120, 60, 30, 24. I always shoot everything in 24 frames per second because it gives you more of a cinema feel. A lot of people shoot in 60.
Keep going.
And 60 feels more almost like 3D in a way.
60 frames per second. That's like basically that's fast. Like that's super fast.
Yeah.
24 is a little bit slower. That's why you said it gives the more cinematic view. And where do you find that?
So
you find that in the app, in the phone.
So on your iPhone right now, it'll be in your top left-hand corner.
Okay.
So when you hit the top left-hand corner, you can change in between all of these things. And you can see what it does. So I always say is like once you bring your phone out, put your hand in front of it, and you'll see the differences in what happens. And whatever style that you like the most, that's the one you go with.
Oh, okay. All right. So 4K, shooting 4K. You said 24, or pick your frames per second.
Pick your frames per second.
24 or 60?
24. I always say 24 or 30.
Okay, 24, 30. Okay, and what's the third one?
The third one would be
just to instantly upgrade your videos.
Learn how to talk on camera. Learn how to look at the camera and not think. Tell your story. Say anything that it is that you want. But for God's sakes, don't just... So I think that, the thing. Eyes tell everything. Eyes will say everything that you needed to say. So practice talking to a camera.
Just a follow-up question to that. Like, what are some simple, like, weekly practice to get better on camera? If I was genuinely, like, wanting to get better on camera, and I know you've said it numerous times, like, just be natural. But, like...
That's hard to do.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And especially, like, if you're doing it by yourself, cool. But I feel like a lot of people clam up, especially when they're doing it in front of other people. So, like, what are, like, some simple, like, a weekly practice? Like, and I would imagine this will probably go back to your acting days. So give me something that give me something to share, like, that would get me better on camera.
Yes, you can always go to a public speaking class. That's always one thing. But I think something that people don't realize can help them is FaceTime a lot of people and have a whole conversation. FaceTime a lot of people and just have a conversation because you get to see yourself when you talk. That'll be one thing. The second thing is if you feel like, okay, I've mastered that, great, cool. Now, read a story or memorize something and say it on camera. And something very easy, like a paragraph, and say it 3 different ways on camera. A simple paragraph. something you know off the back
In other
of your
words,
head.
say it one way exciting and one way dramatic.
Say it
and
exciting,
one way...
say it sad, say it this, and just do it and do one take. Just do one take. This is not an audition. Just do one take of it and see how you see the differences in everything, because what we think we hear doesn't always come across in what it is that we're actually doing. And the third one, I think, would be put yourself in a class or something that requires you to speak in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even if it's a small group of 10 people.
One thing that I heard from somebody when it comes to lighting, because lighting and audio are the two most important things, right? If you're really leveling up. But one, I learned this the hard way, was that you want to shoot with the light behind you. Like if you're in a room with the window with the light coming in instead of shooting at the window. Does that make sense?
Yes, but think of it also like this. If the light is behind me and I'm sitting like this and the light is back here, what's going to happen is it's going to create a shadow on me here because the camera's going to focus on the light behind you. You always want light to come at you. So right now, that's why there's a light there and a light there.
Yeah.
That's my light. That's your light.
Yeah.
And it also lights.
My light is better than yours.
I mean, I'm light skinned. It's different. But you want to, yes, lighting that's like the next place when you've got all these other things down, is in teaching yourself how to light. But the most simplest thing is just 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Just as long as you can see yourself clearly, lighting will change everything.
The 45 degrees aspect is where the lighting should be placed in relation to where you're sitting.
Yeah, because you see like how we are, there's no light directly at you. Because of how we're sitting now, it's 45 degrees.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. What do you want people to say about Mike Press 10 years from now, 20 years from now, long after you're gone?
The thing that I want people to say and remember about me is that Mike Press always reinvented himself, and no matter how many times he's been tried to be taken down, you couldn't take him down. I've gone through a lot, and there's a lot out there about me, and I've always been able to reinvent myself even when you would think that something would take me out. I'm a good father. I'm an entrepreneur. And I just really have grown to enjoy helping people make their vision come true. And if I didn't go through everything that I went through and understand now that service is the way that you really become fulfilled, yes, you can be in front of the camera. Yes, you can be the main attraction, but after a while, that's exhausting. And then at the end of the day, you want to help people. Think about what you do in your business. You're helping people change their living conditions all the time. And they send you messages and give you phone calls. Oh my God, thank you so much for helping me out in finding this and finding that. And then now you're also doing service by helping people tell their stories. And it's people that you already know, but you also learn from them at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
So like this service is the thing that really made it fulfilling to where it's not overly stressful.
Are you a religious person?
So my dad was a reverend.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's a yes. That's well, it should lead to a yes, but it might not. You could have ran away, but all right.
Nah, and it was funny. Like I remember somebody said to me, they were like, yeah, because Mike, I know you're not religious, and I'm like, wait, what? What you mean? And it's because I don't speak about it all the time as openly as a lot of people do. And it's only because of how I grew up in religion. I was in church every Sunday. My dad ministered from New York to Long Island to Virginia, and we traveled. So I grew up in the 80s, 90s versions of like Baptist churches. We in there 7 hours, B. 7. And you getting yelled, the thunder and lightning in the voice. So the way that, things are today, I don't fully connect to it. But that doesn't mean I'm not religious.
Well, the reason why I asked you that question is because of your answer previous when you were talking about how you enjoy the service aspect of it. And I feel like if you're raised around faith, whatever faith that may be, you have that sense of service to others. And, I'm reading a book by the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop of, I want to say, I don't remember the country and I don't want to butcher it, somewhere in Africa. And they're talking about like how to find extreme joy. And they say that the only way to find extreme joy is by living a life of service, because that will then allow you to feel better, because there's legit like one of your brain one of your brain functions or one of the brain waves sends a euphoric signal when you help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you do that, the more it's going to ping positive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lean into that, that's what's going to let you live a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked if you were religious.
And like watching my dad minister every Sunday, watching him all like do these, funerals, weddings, watch him do this for 25 years, you know what I'm saying? Until he kind of like started trickling it back. It all goes into why I can speak in public and why I can, I'm 6 years old going up, giving the Lord's Prayer and reading Matthew 4:20, like, and all these different things. So yes, religion is a part of my life.
What are you building next?
What am I building next? Man, I might need some employees. Whew, boy, let me tell you. But honestly, what it is this year I'm focusing on stability. I think I've been able to help so many people that I now need to figure out how to streamline this whole thing. And also put a little bit more focus into me, because I'm always on helping, but it's very hard for me to also help me. Super hard.
Interesting. If I was going to, let me think about this, how I'm going to articulate this question.
I'm about to say, I know you're not going to say you're going to a soul cycle class. I know that.
No.
You wasn't going to say that.
No, I would do a soul cycle class, though, to be honest with you. If you were, you just did the little lip service
I
thing.
didn't do anything, actually.
I could see it in the camera, homeboy.
You're in the camera.
What I'd like to do is just to wrap things up with you here. What do you think the most important thing is for you to articulate out there for anybody that's thinking about potentially going to get into content creation and why they should use you?
I'll address the first thing. Why should you get into content creation? The first thing is that's where everything is now. And that's where it's going to be for a very long time. Content creation is really like the new Yellow Pages. You'll find everything that you need to find on Instagram, TikTok. Yes, you can still go to Google, but everything you want to find instantly is going to be there. Your story, your day-to-day, all of these things that you want to do, yes, you want to put it out there, but you overthink it. Stop overthinking. It's easy for me to say, but you have to actually do that. So by not overthinking, don't worry about right now quality. Don't worry about getting the mic. Don't worry about all this stuff. Even though he asked me that question, get to the point where you can just be confident to take your phone out and do this. Because that's the first thing people don't do. Mm-hmm. They're afraid to just do that.
Yeah.
It irks me when I do it. Mm-hmm. So just imagine how many other people it limits from them just taking the phone out and recording themselves. You know people out there, they doing that all day.
Yeah.
Why should you hire me? I'll help you tell the story that you're trying to tell. And not in a way where I'm forcing you to say this because I think this is what you need to say, but it's because you may not know or have the words to say it. I can pull them out of you. I can get you from the place of being consistent and starting very simply. We're going to shoot twice a week, and we're going to keep it simple. Then slowly and slowly, I build you up more and more by intensifying questions or maybe pushing you to answer more questions than you're used to. At the end of the day, content creation is a stamina game. It's not really about how much it costs to make the video and my camera and all this kind of stuff. I can give you dope stuff just off a phone. But do you have the stamina to be able to do this week, month, year, decade, over and over? Every person that you see, your Gary V's and your all these kind of people, they've now been doing this for decades. Think about it like that.
And if somebody wanted to hire you or
Mm-hmm.
at least, talk to you about a consultation, where do they find you? How do they get in touch with you?
So the first thing that you can do is follow me on Instagram at I'm Mike Press. You're not calling me. I'm not putting out phone numbers here. But in all seriousness, Instagram. I'm very active. I respond to people. I'm not one of those that don't respond back. I do respond. And I always say this, look through the stuff that I've done and see if it even fits the thing that you want to do. A lot of people get caught up on, oh, he's a videographer, I'll just use him. You got to look at the videographer's style.
Yep.
Because if the style is not what you want, now you're wasting your time and your money. Make sure it's the style that you want with whoever videographer you choose. And make sure that they're able to have the conversation with you about what it is that you want and you feel comfortable with it.
You have a website?
No.
No. Okay. So IG is the way to go.
IG is the way to go.
Preferred platform? Are you only on IG?
Yeah. I mean, I've run through the TikTok before, but what I've known for me is that TikTok is best for me to learn, not to also produce through.
Understood.
I'd rather use it to learn and use Instagram as my main platform.
Understood. Well, listen, dude, thank you for
No,
being
thank you,
here.
man.
I mean, listen, again, I can't articulate this enough. I sit here and I do this podcast so that way I can learn and I can tell people stories. And I learned some pointers today, bro.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, like the whole modeling aspect.
You're going to have fun. You're really going to have fun looking at these photos. I'm trying to tell you, man.
I've seen enough from what he shared with me. But Soul Cycle, we'll talk.
We don't need to talk. You just need to come.
Yeah, I just don't know. We'll talk about when you're there and we'll have a conversation around.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
All right, cool. So, anyway, dude, in all seriousness, thank you very much for coming here, bro. I truly appreciate it. You're somebody that I honestly consider to be a friend, and I'm looking forward to seeing where, we could take this.
Same, man.
I just want to go and give a shout out to our producer. We are here in the Kayi Visions studio, my man Claudio. If you're looking to level up your game, this is the man to speak to. I usually tag him in all of my videos. Well, not all of them because I don't want to flood his timeline with just the Padernacht Podcast, but you know where to find the guy, all right? Just if you want to level it up, give him a call or give my man Mike Press a call. You got a lot of options here. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Padernacht Podcast, Brick by Brick, and I'll see you guys next week.